This is WAAY 31 Law Call.
Good evening and welcome to WAAY 31 Law Call. I'm Sharon Dovia. Tonight we're talking about scams and ripoffs. Maybe you have received a phone call or an email, something that sounds too good to be true, or maybe it sounds too scary to not believe it. A threat that you're going to be arrested if you don't make a payment because you missed jury duty, or maybe you've made a new friend on social media and they just need a little bit of money, or maybe it's a romance and you've got this new friend that just needs some help. If it sounds too good to be true, it may be. Tonight we're going to talk about the latest scams and ripoffs and things you need to be afraid of, be aware of, and your chance to call in and ask questions. The 31 Law Call number 256-536-0077. You can also always email your legal questions, your scam and ripoff questions. You send it to lawcall@waytv.com, and when we get to a show that's on point, we pull out some of your email questions, and we will have some of your email questions tonight. Getting us started tonight, Will League's here from Timberlake League and Brooks. And you do personal injury cases, but you help consumers, help people.
Consumer law, I was looking up just a minute ago, and consumer law, you have a right as a consumer, for your safety, a right to choose the product, a right to be heard, and a right to be informed of the particular product that you are purchasing, or whatever it is, a business transaction, insurance policy. So a lot of things we do is protect consumers, similar to our guest. We have Karen Reeves from the Better Business Bureau. Thank you for coming up, Karen.
Thank you for having me.
And we're talking about scams and ripoffs, and one that does in the jury world is you'll get a call, and be brave, give us a call, let us know about a scam attempt that you've had. But you didn't show up for jury duty. If you don't, send us $30 or $100, we're going to come and arrest you. That's something in our world that I've run into. And so, Karen, you're on the front lines with the Better Business Bureau. We were talking earlier, it started how long ago?
15 years ago.
Well, 15 years ago, but again, way back when, over 100 years.
Oh, yes.
Right,
the Better Business Bureau began over 110 years ago. A group of businessmen came together to self-regulate and self-monitor themselves, to be transparent and trustworthy and ethical in their business practices.
Right, in the good old days, and people still, there's still members associated with the North Alabama Better Business Bureau that fund what you guys do, which is how do you protect consumers?
Yes. Well, and the Better Business Bureau is a nonprofit organization. We were founded here in the Huntsville area. Next year we will celebrate our 60th anniversary.
60 years.
So right now we have over 2,900 businesses that are a part of the organization.
Very nice.
So we're going to be talking about some of the new scams and ripoffs. To get us started, though, we always like to present a video for you, let you be the judge. Right. We've got some video that we pulled from YouTube, and this is in Will's area. So this auto accident happens, looks like it happened right off the bat. Worst case scenario. So this gas station fire, can you tell what caused this? And if you were looking at it in terms of, is somebody looking at a lawsuit, whose fault is this?
There's a lot of issues there. First time I've seen it, looks like the white car came in hot, and somebody's doing a good job in getting that green car away from the fire. Comes in, there's negligence, wantonness. Maybe they're drunk. Maybe they just were looking down texting. I don't know. So could have been an accident. Could have been negligence. Could have been negligent, which is figured to use ordinary care. He's got, oh my goodness, is that a gas can he's got?
No, it's a fire extinguisher.
Okay,
he's gonna put it out.
Okay. So negligence is just, making a mistake, not paying attention, not doing what a reasonably prudent person would do. Again, that would, you bring in damages. Obviously there's damage to the gas station, property damage. Those other folks in the car or the passenger may have a claim for personal injuries if you show, again, that a reasonable person wouldn't drive that hot into a gas station and cause that. So I think that's pretty certain. Then there could be punitive damages of wanton conduct. Let's say the driver was drinking, texting and driving, doing something that he or she knows is dangerous and moving forward anyway with that conduct. So again, you've got property damage, compensatory damages for injuries, medical bills and things like that. Punitive damages on to preclude that type of conduct and to punish that type of conduct from happening again. And that's all on the civil side. On the criminal side, let's say the police got there and the person was under the influence. Then he or she's arrested, charged with DUI. If the person is injured, there could be additional charges and ramp those up because of the nature and extent or the consequences of your conduct. You could be prosecuted, it could be a misdemeanor, a felony, depending on what unfolds from that particular conduct. So that person's got some issues ahead.
Yeah.
It sure does. It sure does. And on the Better Business Bureau side, if I'm in that green truck, somebody comes in and that's just not proper. Now, the gas station didn't cause it, but you get calls weekly, I would imagine, about, look, I went to this store, this didn't happen. I went to this store, this happened. What can you do, or how can you help consumers when they have an issue?
Well, certainly when folks contact us, we want to be able to help them in any way that we can. Some things are outside of our purview. So our job in those types of situations, say employee-employer situations, we're going to refer them to someone who can help them. But if you purchase something and it has to do with a warranty or something like that, we're going to encourage you to file a complaint with us and let us try to work with you in the business and see if we can come to an agreeable resolution.
So let's say there's a warranty issue. So we handle products liability cases. We handle those. And if it's a breach of warranty or the failure to warn, now again, let's say you're using your weed eater to trim your beard. That's not the intended purpose of the product, so that's not a case we would take. So I'm sure you get some crazy calls as well.
We do.
But you get some reasonable ones as well. So the reasonable ones, we try and help those folks. We look at the warranty. We look at was it an unreasonably dangerous product placed in the stream of commerce, and then what was the cause of that? Did the manufacturer know that? Was there an alternate design they could have used? Because when you talk about rollover cases and serious, we're looking at PFAS and environmental cases. So those things they can be very serious or they can be minor, and we will filter through and see if we can help those folks. And on the Better Business Bureau side, do you ever reach out to the business and say, hey, we've had this complaint, can we mediate or monitor this for you guys? Or is it letting them know what their rights are, with regard to the consumer protection laws we talked about at the beginning?
Well, sometimes both.
Right.
We encourage someone to send their information in writing so that we have all those details. We always are going to send it to the business. We try to go through a process that's normally about 30 days where we're going to kind of go back and forth and try to get information from both sides. One of the things that we do offer is arbitration for our accredited businesses because that's where both parties can come and sit down with a mediator and hopefully come to an agreeable resolution. But those are cases where maybe we weren't able to get where both parties wanted to be in the normal complaint process.
And that's very similar to what we do a lot of times. People will call in, let's say it's not something we file a lawsuit. Yeah. We'll often talk to the people and say, hey, can you sit down and have a reasonable discussion with the other party? Because sometimes when you hire an attorney, now we charge based on what we recover, but if we refer them to a lawyer who charges hourly, then you got time and expense money in this issue where maybe a conversation can be had and the parties can come together.
Is there a fee for using the Better Business Bureau?
All our services are free for all folks in North Alabama. Our accredited businesses do support our program so that we can offer those services for free. But yeah, anything that we do, any kind of fraud education, complaint processing, any of those kinds of things, free to our community.
We've got callers waiting. We've got Jeffrey on the line with a question or comment from Florence. Hi, Jeffrey. Thanks for calling. What's happened with you? Have you seen a scam?
Well, a scam or a ripoff?
Well, either one. What are you experiencing?
My mother passed away about 2 months ago.
I'm sorry.
And she believed in insurance, and I told her she was insurance poor. But she had a critical care policy, and my mother fell and broke her back, and then she had a stroke just out of nowhere, and within a week she died from the stroke. And in the critical care policy, it was supposed to pay a lump sum of $25,000, and we sent in the death certificate. We sent in, she was on hospice, and we sent in on the letterhead. The doctor signed off.
And they're just not willing to.
The policy.
They're not willing
to pay.
Okay. Is this a lawsuit, or is this something the Better Business Bureau can help somebody with? Insurance issues. Do you get it that far?
Well, it kind of depends on what the insurance issue is. I think certainly in this situation, we probably would refer them to the State Department of Insurance.
Okay.
We could take a complaint to process against the insurance company. We could definitely start there with that process.
Okay. Will, what do you think?
Jeffrey,
is this something to go after?
How long was she in critical care?
Fell and broke her back in October of 23, and then she had a stroke the second week of February, and then she passed away the third.
Gotcha. So this policy was a lump sum policy, and the cost didn't accrue, and they paid those costs up until that limit, or did they just, would the policy read that they were just going to pay that limit?
She had the policy since the early 90s, and the policy states, that if you suffered any of those things like a stroke, a heart attack, or loss of, so much of.
Right. A lot of those policies, Jeffrey, will accrue with time. So it sounds like you've provided the death certificate, you've provided medical records. Make sure you provide medical bills with them. If the doctor signs off that she had to endure this critical care, or you guys incurred these expenses, even if there's an insurance policy, because a lot of times they'll try and piggyback on Medicare, Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and say, hey, we don't pay till after that. So look at the fine print of that policy. But if they don't respond, just like Karen said, talk to the Department of Insurance out of Montgomery. But you may have a breach of contract action against the insurance company, and this is not unusual. We sadly see these quite a bit, whether it be critical care, cancer policy, some type of end-of-life care policies that don't really. And so, again, just like we talked about, you've tried to reach out to the insurance company. You may want to give them a little more time. You may want to try and call them. I get it. But if they don't respond, there's only two ways to make an insurance company do the right way. One, if they agree, and the other is if you file a lawsuit and make them. So hopefully the first step will be adhered to, but if not, I encourage you to sit down with the lawyer and see what the next step are. Sometimes a letter from the lawyer's office may get their attention. Sometimes it's filing a lawsuit for breach of contract in the circuit court of wherever you guys live or where the contract was executed. I wish you luck with it. And how long have they been dragging their feet? I think you mentioned February. When did you submit your claim?
We talked to the insurance company 2 weeks ago, and they said allow them 2 to 3 business days to have their underwriters research it, because they had already sent the funeral home had already sent everything over to that insurance company, so they have the death certificate. We gave the funeral home all the papers from hospitals, the doctor's paperwork. Sounds like
y'all have complied with all your obligations. Stay on them. Oftentimes, squeaky wheel gets the grease. But if they don't agree, then I'd encourage you to sit down with a lawyer, because it looks like you may have to go the next step to make them do right.
Okay. They're telling us to take a break. We're going to take a break. Be right back answering more of your questions about scams and ripoffs. Stay with us.
You're watching WAAY 31 Law Call. Your rights, your calls, live. Presented by the Tennessee Valley's award-winning personal injury and wrongful death law firm, Timberlake, League & Brooks. Featuring the knowledge and experience of Attorney Michael Timberlake, Attorney Will League, Attorney Heath Brooks, Attorney William Maservi. And hosted by broadcaster and family law attorney Sharon Doviet. This is WAAY 31 Law Call.
Welcome back to 31 Law Call. Tonight we're talking about scams and ripoffs. We've got with us Will League from Timberlake, League & Brooks. And we've got Karen Reeves, who is the CEO and president of the Better Business Bureau here, North Alabama, right? North Alabama,
right.
The whole region. We have a graphic of some of the hottest scams. You hate to hear this. Karen, lead us through some of this. What's going on lately?
Well, these are part of the top 5 scams of 2023 that were reported to the Better Business Bureau through our scam tracker reporting tool. So investment crypto scams, the top scam, there's no regulation for crypto, and we're seeing this more and more. And of course, we talked about this a little bit earlier. If someone sends something crypto if you send money for cryptocurrency, there's no way to get that back.
Are they calling you? Are they emailing? What's the scam?
The biggest thing we've seen are these Bitcoin ATMs that you see all over in convenience stores.
Yeah.
And folks will go in and send money thinking that they're going to do an investment where they're going to make all this money. And they basically are
Gotcha.
giving their money away.
Employment scams. You told me if some job offer comes to you and you have to pay, that's a big no-no. You shouldn't have to
Yes.
pay for your job.
Absolutely. A legitimate offer for employment, you should not have to pay your employer. We hear where they're telling folks that apply, you've got to pay money for your training or maybe equipment. And then our other situation, an employment scam, is where someone sends you a check so that you can go purchase what you might need for that job, and invariably the check is for a larger amount. They've made a mistake and then they need you to turn around and send that excess money back, and then you're left holding the bag because invariably that check comes back bad once it's gone through the bank process.
Gotcha. And we'll touch on these other ones in just a minute, but we've got callers waiting. We've got Renee on the line with a question from Madison or a scam comment. Renee, thanks for calling. Tell us about your scam or ripoff.
Hey, so my question has to deal with an automobile warranty. I feel like I was ripped off because I purchased a new vehicle during the fall of last year, and as the winter months came in, I noticed a horrible squealing noise when I would back my vehicle out of the garage first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So we took it to the local dealer where we purchased it from, and they said, oh, yes, under warranty, we'll look at it. Well, it sat there forever and ever and ever. So we were like, okay, we're going to take it to another dealer in a nearby city. So we did that, and they jumped right on it. They looked at it, and they said, well, we're sorry, but this is kind of an issue with these particular vehicles because they put ceramic brakes on them, and it basically you're just stuck with it.
And not covered by your warranty.
Well, yeah. Well, we asked, well, can we get these traded out? They said that the brakes are fine operationally; they function fine. But we asked, well, this is very problematic. This very, very loud noise that it makes every morning, and can we get them changed out maybe to some other type? And they said, no, we don't do that. Okay. So now I don't know if this is more of a, go to a lawyer for assistance or Better Business Bureau, but that particular dealer said, no, we will not change the brakes out. You're kind of stuck with it, and I don't want to trade in the vehicle and take the depreciation hit, so I feel like I'm stuck. One other thing, at the second service place where we went to, they thought I had purchased it from them, and they said, oh, didn't our salesman tell you about this known issue before you purchased it? Our salesman should be telling you this. And I told them, well, I didn't buy it from you. I bought it from another dealer, but nevertheless, it's something that they know about. Yeah. And we were not, that was not disclosed to us. So, yeah.
Okay. What can Renee do? Is this a Better Business Bureau issue, or is this a lawyer issue?
Well, I would certainly say start with us. Okay. Certainly you could file a complaint depending on, Better Business Bureau has a program called Auto Line that is for vehicles, but there are certain newer vehicles under certain limitations, mileage and those types of things. And we will bring in a mediator or an arbitrator and try to see if we can help resolve if it's a manufacturer issue. And this sounds like it may be a manufacturer issue. Yeah. So depending on, like I said, the mileage, how old the vehicle is, it could fall within that criteria. Certainly could file a complaint with us. We'd be more than happy to try to work with the business to see if we could come to a resolution.
And sometimes they respond positively to, okay, we're going to get it in, let's fix it, right?
Yes, and I will say, we work with all businesses in North Alabama regardless of accreditation with the Better Business Bureau. We are neutral, and we are here to work with everyone in our community. So.
On the lawyer side, it's been a minute since I've really looked at the lemon law, but what I remember, you had to go and give them a reasonable opportunity to repair the vehicle. What I cannot remember is if it's a major functionality of the vehicle that it must be affected, or is squeaky wheels just enough? Is it something, be careful buying something as is, because you're done for at that point. If it's as is, there's nothing. If it sounds like you did everything you could do, there is a warranty under it, and a reasonable approach should be to replace those brakes. Now again, if there's a problem with that particular vehicle and all the cars do it, you may be up against the wall, because if that's how those particular cars operate, that might be it. Again, give them the option of repairing those brakes or replacing them seems like a good fix, not only from you but for the dealer, because it could be a breach of warranty and they could find themselves in litigation. But again, I'd sit down with an attorney and talk about your options. But again, I think it's a breach of contract. I don't think a brand new car, I don't think most juries would agree that squeaky wheels are part of the deal. And that goes to just general reasonableness.
We've got William on the line with a question or comment from Huntsville. Hi, William. Thanks for calling in. What's your question or comment about a scam and ripoff?
I believe it's a scam, but I was kind of tricked into they was going to send me a couple of iPads and have me to take them from my house and go mail them.
How'd they contact you?
And so I did that for them, and then I didn't think nothing about it. But then when I got my next telephone bill, they had determined that it was me that had to pay for the activation of it.
Wow. Okay.
How'd they contact you real quick? Email?
Well,
call you?
I was just doing, I believe it was, it might have been TikTok at the time with somebody I was going back and forth with
Gotcha.
over a long period of time. And thought I was getting to know somebody, but I guess I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. Do you see that a lot?
Absolutely. That would be what we'd call a reshipping scam.
Okay.
Where they call, get to know the person, not only reshipping, romance. Let's develop some type of personal relationship going off the app, and now we're texting. Next thing you know, I need money for a medical procedure or get on a flight to come see you. Is that generally the situation?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just, that's awful. That's awful. Shame on you guys out there.
Shame on you. We're going to take a break. Be right back with more questions about scams and ripoffs. If you didn't get your questions answered tonight, here's how to get in touch with Karen Reeves. She's the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau serving North Alabama. The number 256-533-1640, and lots more information on the website bbb.org. Here's how to get in touch with Will League with Timberlake League and Brooks in Huntsville, 256-536-0770 or 800-804-2502. The website is law-injury.com, and if you like them on Facebook, you can learn more about the law that way.
And our very own Sharon Doviet, family law attorney, 539-7337, SharonFamilyLaw.com. The scams, it's not just the Nigerian prince needing his gold anymore.
No.
It's so much, and they're really preying on the elderly.
Yes.
And it's just a shame. And kids, watch you folks, because they'll sneak out and send money without you knowing. And it's just, you're seeing it every day.
Yes.
Thousands of dollars being lost. Thanks for
Yeah.
all your calls and questions tonight. See you next week.